Pleased to be joined now by Kingston Frontenacs defenseman and one of the leaders of this year's edition of the Kingston Frontenacs, Jake Murray. It seems like it's been a while since we last chatted, and when I was counting up the days, it was close to 600 since the last time the black and gold were on the ice at the Leon Center. So welcome back, Jake. How are things going?
Well, first off, thank you very much. And so far, so good. Obviously, like you mentioned, we approached almost 600 days there without hockey. And for me personally, without being in Kingston. So it's great to be back in this community and back at the Leon Center, dialing it up for regular season soon.
First things first, you've gone, we talked about it, about a year and a half, and there was no real OHL hockey going on. So what were you up to in the downtime to stay sharp, stay on your toes, and stay alert when it came to the hockey?
Yeah, obviously it was a little bit tough sometimes. We were in and out of the gym and rinks with closures due to COVID, but while we were in the gym, it was my regular 4-day-a-week workout schedule, fitting in skates when I could. No real schedule, but around, say, 2 or 3 times a week. Ice was a little expensive and hard to come by, so it wasn't always easy. But then when rinks and gyms were closed, it was a lot of at-home work. We had some good weather, so shooting and stick handling outside. Got out on my rollerblades a little bit. Worked out in the basement a little bit at home and did some running as well. Everything that was possible for us to stay in shape throughout COVID and the closures and lockdowns that had rinks and gyms closed as well.
So you mentioned the closures of the rinks and how ice time was hard to come by when it was available. And for a team that's young and you being one of the older guys, it presents a bit of a different dynamic where you can't do that bonding in person that you normally would as a team. So I would imagine there's lots of Zoom meetings and phone calls. How'd that go for you guys over the last year and a half as you build this team looking ahead to this upcoming season?
It went really well, actually. For a lot of it, we were at least once, up to twice a week, going over some systems so that we were prepared come season, which I think actually ended up working out really well. We were on top of our game pretty early here in the preseason. But on the other side of that, as well as you mentioned, the team bonding with lots of new faces coming in. We had some friendly competitions. We had a Jeopardy game one time on a Zoom call. We had something that we called the France Olympics, which was a bunch of workouts integrated into a competitive environment with scoring systems. So there was a lot that the staff did for us to not only keep us engaged and help develop us, but allow us to have fun and have that sense of team that we were missing throughout the 18 months that we weren't playing. And I think, I speak for everyone when I say that we were super thankful for that. Because a lot of us were bored out of our mind and honestly craving that team experience that we had missed for so long.
So you guys have made it through that year and a half. You've now got the preseason under your belts, and it's been a pretty impressive preseason. Looking ahead to the regular season, which opens up in about a week's time, what kind of goals do you guys set for yourselves as a team? Because there's a lot of unknowns heading into this season.
I think for us and within our room, staff, players, the sky's the limit for us this year. We have quite a special group, lots of guys coming back. Actually, one of the teams that throughout all this happened to become older and more experienced. A lot of teams saw guys graduate and move on to the professional ranks, but we have a large group of our guys coming back, as well as an eager group of young guys really willing to learn and play their role to contribute to a championship team, as well as, I guess you could say, a rookie head coach and general manager who are on the same page and very excited at what we have in front of us here going into the season. And the first edition of the CHL Power Rankings came out, and we were up there at number 4. And I think our goal is to be number 1 once we get some games going and get some wins under our belt.
Does that change the mindset at all? I know that you don't put a ton of stock in preseason rankings, but on the same hand, you guys were a team that last time you were on the ice surface were fighting for a playoff spot, and now you're going to be one of those teams that everybody's gunning for.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, we acknowledge it because obviously, like you mentioned, we've kind of turned things around quite well since the last time we played hockey at the Leon Center, but at the same time, you can't pay too much attention to it because it is at the same time as being an acknowledgement, it's outside noise as well. So what really matters is what goes on at the rink every day when we try to get better and prepare for our games. And it comes down to executing. So yes, it's obviously super nice to see that and know that all the work that we put in, all the progress we made has been noticed. But at the same time, we are still very far from our end goal, and we are very much an unfinished product that we are still going to continue to work at every single day.
You mentioned unfinished product, and back when you broke into the league as a rookie, you went through that raw phase of learning the league and getting those under your feet. But now you're one of the veterans. How has your role changed, and what kind of wisdom would you impart on the rookies this year?
Yeah, obviously, the big thing for me is taking on more of a leadership role, even than I was in last year. I want to say, I think we have 15 guys in high school, so a very large group of younger guys on this team, a lot of which haven't played a regular season game in the OHL yet. So along with some of the other returning guys, we've each had to step up and take a couple guys under our wings and show them the ropes a little bit and answer any questions that they have, help them feel at home, because obviously the integration part for 16 and 17-year-olds is one of the more difficult things. So helping them feel comfortable earlier on is ultimately what allows them to reach the top of their game quicker. And just for the young guys, they've all been really good at it so far, but it's just keeping your head down and going to work, paying attention to the small details and doing little things right, because the more you do little things right, that's how you work your way up in the lineup. It starts with the little things. If you prove that you can do those properly, then you'll get more and more chances. And I think so far our guys have been great at that, as they've proven to be very effective in the preseason so far.
Big thanks to yourself, Jake, for the time, and good luck the rest of this year and this season as you guys embark in what should be an exciting one.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.